So welcome to the People's Accords. My name is Lydia, and our website does use cookies. Please accept those, just so that we understand who is interested in our organization. I want to tell you a bit about who we are, about our mission, our vision, and we have a team section of our website coming soon where we will tell you all about our board members and our board of advisors. We are actually actively recruiting 2 more directors to our board, as well as up to 5 more advisors. We have a dream team that is coming together. And if you would like to be a part of that, please go ahead and submit your resume to me, either on LinkedIn, or you can send it to our community email at peopleaccords@gmail.com. All of that will be included on the website or in the description of this video. So our goal is to bring people together one story at a time. We believe that everybody is more similar than they are different. And if we could all learn to see each other more as individuals or as part of a global community, we would have a lot more cooperation as a human society on this planet. The People's Accords is an online global community of civilians who meet regularly to discuss their stories, discuss their community projects, to submit project ideas, and then vote on funding for those ideas as a community to have community investment projects for startups, community improvement projects, art projects, whatever the community decides. They basically run the funds of the endowment for the year so that we can have a bottom-up approach to peace building. Like, we believe the road to peace between nations actually starts with individuals and their life stories. We provide a platform and a forum for individuals from opposing viewpoints or different backgrounds and cultures who didn't previously understand each other to share their stories about their lives. When people can see the humanity in one another, it becomes much more possible and feasible to have cooperation, collaboration, and grow as a community. So let me tell you a bit about our community. We encourage everyone to apply to become a member. We are a global organization that wants to reach as many people as possible. Members receive a pass as a citizen diplomat or Web3 diplomat in our community, and it grants them secure access to our DAO and voting on projects, pitching and funding their ideas. And we invite everyone who is interested to apply, and please submit. We're actually looking at developing an NFT pass for holders, and there will be an art competition, and we have a very exciting team in place to run that. So please stay tuned, follow us on Twitter, and look out for updates on that. Now, non-members are still invited and welcome to submit funding ideas. However, they are unable to vote on projects and are required to pay an entrance fee for attending community events. Now, please submit your projects on our website. If you already have ideas, we're ready to go and check them out. We don't have our DAO up and running yet. However, we can still use Web 2 to get started, and that's what we're doing. So first of all submissions need to go through our website. Projects will either be approved or rejected based on the criteria that we have, which you can see in the application. And then the author of each pitch will be invited to give us an interview or a presentation for the community about their project. And then community voting will commence. So the community will decide by a majority vote which project is funded. And we will have different rounds where, let's say, a series of projects are voted at a time. And if your project doesn't succeed in its first or second round, you can actually resubmit your project multiple times in various funding rounds, depending on the volume of projects available, and so on and so forth. All of those details are on the website. So the winning project will receive funds, whichever the community votes on. Those will be wired or sent via USDC to the recipient. And we will also require a quarterly reporting process and do follow-up interviews to see the impact of the project and make sure that the funds are used as claimed, and how effective that was, because the community might actually sometimes vote on projects that aren't successful. And we actually anticipate that the community will grow and learn together, because we do want to make this more of a decentralized, community-driven diplomatic fund. We are creating a $100 million endowment, which in the grand scheme of things is small change, but it will give the community $6 to $8 million every single year to fund on projects that they decide are worthy. And $6 to $8 million can quickly grow each year as we give more and more people opportunities to fund the projects that they want. We foresee this being hugely impactful all around the world in ways that we can't even imagine yet. So thank you so much for sticking around, submitting your project ideas, becoming a member of the community. We just can't wait to see you participate. So if you have any ideas for actually how you would like to participate, whether you have your having a Discord to communicate on or communicating through the website, and we are still actually developing all of this technology. For example, if you are watching this and you have some technology skills or skills you think could help this organization grow, please reach out to us. We would be happy to hear from you and get your ideas and make this a truly community, globally driven project. We are in the process of deciding all the specifics about our future tech and how that's going to work, because there is actually a barrier to entry for many people in parts of the world where technology is not as accessible everywhere. Like maybe there is internet, but it's only available at the local school, at the village university, at the village like library, or the local university in some places. And some places also have power only for a certain amount of time every single day. So how that power is used is very precious, and we need to find ways to ease that burden on people by participating in this community and making it immediately impactful. So also, if you are a community development specialist, if you have experience as a foreign aid worker in other countries, please let us know, reach out to us. We want you on our team. We are actively recruiting talent, and we have very good compensation for all of the members of our staff, and look forward to really building as a community. One of the main reasons driving actually the fact that we have an endowment and that we are building such a large fund for this operation is that we don't want our employees focused on constantly raising money. We want the people in our organization to be focused on building, to be focused on creating a valuable community that actually can produce amazing projects and make people's lives better, and just do what we're saying we're going to do. One of the biggest problems working in nonprofits and philanthropy is the need to constantly ask for money. We hope to have 1 or 2 major fundraising events where we can hit the $100 million mark, put it in a fund with BNY Mellon or another qualified entity with a trust that then gives dividends to the DAO, and then the community will decide. So there are going to be measures in place to prevent, let's say, a rogue board member or community member from trying to actively misuse or abuse the funds. We have some very high-level top thinkers from some of the top global organizations and universities looking and guiding this project at every step of the way. And we are very grateful for the people that we have on board. Like I said, our team section is coming up soon. So definitely keep an eye out on our website, and feel free to reach out to us on our website or by email with any comments you have. So what's your project? You want to submit it? You can just open up here. And it's very, like right now we're using Google Forms. And you can see I need to redact my personal account, but I'm in here as myself, and I can submit a project. So let's say I want to build a solar power plant for I want to get a loan. I can ask for $800,000 to fund my loan to get my solar power project started. This would be up to the community to decide if they want to take such a risk. We would have to obviously consult with a legal team to see if it's possible to take that risk as a community. There will have to be other measures in place to ensure that we are compliant with international regulations and government restrictions on which projects get funded. For example, we wouldn't want to be funding any sort of weapons development projects on accident in countries that the U.S. does not do business, because this is a U.S.-based 501c3 organization. Now, as I mentioned, you should click this link to apply for a membership. We need to know your name, and if you don't want to reveal your name to us, you can always just tell us your preferred name. We do actually allow for anonymity anonym. We do allow for you to keep your privacy if you wish, but we do need to know your basically email, if you wish to provide your Twitter or LinkedIn, with your reason for joining, and if you have a copy of your resume. That way, you don't have to actually type your name into our server, but we do want to see like who you are, what skills you might have to bring to the table. And if you have a MetaMask, you can just say no, but we highly encourage you to get a MetaMask so that when we have that NFT that drops for all citizen diplomats and Web3 diplomats, that you will actually get that NFT. All members should be getting one free pass, and then other passes will be available for purchase. So if you want, just give us your Matic address, and we will be sending that to you in the future. So that is all you need to do to become a member at this point. Again, we are planning to do much more in the future. However, it's better to start somewhere than try to be perfect from the start. And we want to be as transparent and community-minded as possible as we develop. Right now, we've been spending the last 3 months and until the end of Q4 on just building our strategy, just building our foundation and our proof of concept, and making sure that we have done everything that we can to make sure that this is going to work. And once we have all the strategies in place, this is kind of our test trial run. We're going to launch globally. This is going to be one of the coolest projects, I think, in Web3, and merging Web3 with in real life and peace building with technology. So we are a nonprofit corporation that incorporated in the state of Delaware. And right now we are raising $100 million to be placed into an endowment or a single premium insured perpetual annuity product of some sort. And this will supply the operational cost and grant awards for the lifetime of the organization. And yes, I see this little typo. Like I said, we're getting started somewhere and we're growing. That is the point of this project, is to grow. So how much of the funding is going to go to the community? We kind of just talked about that, but we will allocate at least 50% of the budget to grants and community awards, because there will still be overhead costs. There will be equipment and travel and office fees and staffing fees, especially as this organization grows globally. We plan to have a rather robust advanced ambassador program for people, and there will be training and more information coming out on that later. And who should apply? Who should become a member of this organization? Excuse me. We strongly encourage community and business leaders, teachers, doctors, lawyers, high school and university students, anyone who is seeking to make a positive impact in their community. Please apply. Please become a member. We strongly encourage people from around the world, whether or not you speak English, to become a member of this organization. We want to offer technologies that can remove that language barrier so that people who speak 2 or 3 different languages can all communicate and understand each other in real time. So who is actually qualified to become a member of this organization? Basically, anyone who applies on our website and agrees to follow the community guidelines and holds an active membership pass is qualified to become a member. We don't discriminate, but I think my lawyer would say, because we're a U.S. organization, there are certain rules and regulations that are in place that would prevent us from interacting to a certain degree or any degree with specific nations or organizations in the world. However, we are doing what we can to be as inclusive as possible, and allowing people to maintain their anonymity and doing due diligence on any projects that get funded or get presented for funding, to make sure that all of the money that is being used by the community is essentially going to a proper and legal place. Those are the limitations of actually who can receive funding. Now, is there a maximum funding limit for a project? So our operations do run on a fixed income, and award amounts will be limited by the number and quantity of grants we have to offer in a given year, given the market conditions. Some years we may receive a higher dividend than other years from the endowment. So in those years, we are going to do the best we can to maintain a consistent budget and keep cash reserves for years that are more difficult. Now, we think that grant proposals as low as $500 is something we'll accept. We don't really want to accept limits under that. Even $500 is pretty low. Maybe in America or the global west or the global north, but the global south could use $500, I think, to start a small business, to have a small grant or something to improve their livelihood. So we will accept limits of $500 up to $5 million. I think if there was a project that was just, this is the project of the year, and we as a community decide this is where $5 million is going, that will be acceptable. However, given the general size that we expect to receive each year, I think $5 million might even be pushing it. Now, all of these things are up for review. So if you are watching this and you have comments and ways to improve this, please send an email. Please send it on the website, because we are listening, we are paying attention, and we care what you have to say. So how the grants are awarded, I think I went through a few times already, but it's good to repeat some things so that it's really clear. The grants will be awarded in USDC or like a bank wire transfer, whatever is easier, and will be sent to the wallet or member account whose project was voted to receive the funds. So this is a pretty standard practice of DAOs, and we want to bring that mentality to a larger global audience. So non-members whose projects are awarded funds will be sent a wire transfer, because we don't have them as a member, and we think it'd be safer to use bank wire transfer. I actually don't know why I wrote that. I'm gonna get that out. But for anyone who does actually require a wire transfer, the $75 fee or the wire transfer fee, it will be reduced out of the total award received by the recipient. So just keep that in mind. And now for projects, this is coming soon, where all the projects that have been submitted or voted on will have their own page, and will have their own story to talk about what is the project, how it's doing, if it's one that received funding or if it's one that's still looking for funding. It can generate some idea for what people are looking for and give community members something to talk about, as well as sharing their stories. We are adding a new page that is in development currently. It is literally the People's Accords page. This is the essence and foundation of our organization. It is a library of stories from people from around the world. This is a huge endeavor that we are undertaking, and it requires a lot of work, a lot of interview time, a lot of editing time, and a lot of translation from people all around the world. So we are actively working on this. We will have the beta page up soon. And again, if you have a story to share, please go to the community page or send us an email, reach out, share your story in any way that you can. We look forward to hearing from you. So our team, coming soon, we will have our founders, board of directors, and advisory committee. That is all I have for you today, folks. This is the entirety of what we have developed so far in the last 2 months alone. We've only been doing this for 2 months and have gained quite a lot of traction, and are having a board member retreat on Labor Day weekend. And I look forward to just hashing out all of the details for reaching the end of our first pilot project and sharing that here with everyone. And what else? Yeah, I want to make sure you know our email, which is the People's Accords or peoplesaccords@gmail.com. And is that everything? You can sign up for our newsletter. We will be sending out a newsletter starting in November of this year with all of our updates and plans for the next 6 months. We are working on, like I said, a pilot project, but there will also be a study released about the pilot project, as we are going to events and engaging diplomats and members of positions of power and community influence from all around the world to help activate their networks and get people energized and get people involved. So thank you so much, and I will see you later. Bye.